a bro in there talking about they don't condone shit like that. You sound like a bitch. We condone all that shit. We condone it, but we didn't do it. So, nigga, oh God, don't put that on us. Bro, we condone this shit, though, because niggas be shooting that niggas with their kids and shit. I'm done giving all you niggas passes. That's the old me. Nigga blowing, catching with his family or nigga smoking.
It's your Bradasky, Aaron the Plumber, in a real way, man. You just did me a favor by tapping in with the Pop the Balloon legend himself, man. Yeah, so quick announcement. I just want to let y'all know that we are going to get the In a Real Way podcast fired up. I'm going to be dropping content. I'm going to try to get y'all 3 times a week with relevant topics of what's going on in the industry and around our country, man. And the most sensitive topic right now in my hometown, Stockton, California, we've all seen and heard about the 4 people that were killed, and I believe 14 people were shot. 3 children were unalived. It's a very tragic story, man, and I just had to speak my piece on the situation and let y'all know, man, killing kids, man, that's not gangster. You know, you took somebody's child away from their mother, from their father, from their brother, sisters. You know what I'm saying? That ain't cool, bruh. On me, when is that gangster? Shooting where kids is at? Man, I remember back in the days, you know what I'm saying, they used to, hey, catch you slipping with your moms. Hey, yeah, I'm going to holler at you next time, Bradasky. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get at you in a real way next time. You feel me? There's no integrity. There's no, the streets is dead. You know what I'm saying? And this is confirmation, and this makes me feel like so much better about myself. You feel me? I got out the streets when the streets really got real. You know what I'm saying? These YNs running out here, they running around reckless. Bradasky, no guidance, making their own rules. Who shoots? You shouldn't be shooting no way. In a real way, you know what I'm saying? Y'all should have just came out to the parking lot and ran some fades. Oh mamas, then nobody would be in this position if y'all ran some fades. You feel me? None of them kids would have got hurt if y'all would have been out there catching fades, but y'all cowards. Oh mamas, y'all be thinking y'all gangster. Y'all be thinking y'all tough, Bradasky. You not tough unless you got that blick. You feel me? How you tough? You ain't tough. You not, Bradasky. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be tough. You feel me? What happened to wanting to be rich? What happened to wanting to be a player? You know what I'm saying? We got all these dudes trying to act like EBK, J-Bo. You know what I'm saying? We don't got no, where the players at, man? Where the Too Shorts at, man? You know what I'm saying? Where the Max at, man? You know what I'm saying? There's too much catch a body, catch a job application. You know? Catch a job application. Can y'all do that? Nah, Bradasky, but they know how to load up them drums. You feel me? And that come from in Stockton. A lot of young men are out there living in fatherless homes. You know, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the male anger. You feel me? I know, Bradasky. I used to wake up upset for no reason, just mad at myself, and I didn't even know why. Just mad. You know, a man bottled up anger, that becomes a weapon. A man with bottled up anger, that becomes a weapon to himself and to others, Bradasky. You know what I'm saying? A weapon of mass destruction, that is. Let's talk about the depression in Stockton. You know, men don't call it depression, but they call it I'm good. I'm fine. I'm drinking, I'm smoking, and my problems will disappear. That ain't how it worked, Bradasky. A lot of brothers, they ain't even depressed. They exhausted from everything they've been carrying. you know, and it's tragic, Brodusky, but we're going to go and watch this news article, and for those that ain't seen what's going on, so I could update y'all. And this just shows how social media is destroying young men. You know, social media turned life into a competition. You're not even living to be yourself. You're living for likes nowadays, Brodusky. You know, back in the day, the beef, it used to be slow. Now it's instant. One post, one word, one wrong look could get you unalive, Brodusky. And that's why I'm speaking on Stockton, man. Nothing changes out there in a real way. I'm glad I got up out of Stockton, but let's tap in with this news article. Let's see what's going on, Brodusky.
Breaking news from CBS 13.
We all know that there are people out there that are violent and commit violent crimes. But these animals walked in and shot children at a children's birthday party.
Breaking news tonight, we are getting our first look at that banquet hall where a mass shooting took place in Stockton, killing 4 people, leaving 11 others hurt. 3 of the victims killed are children. You can see birthday party balloons inside that crime scene almost 24 hours after the shooting broke out. Good evening, I'm Steve Large. Here's what we are.
3 of the victims were children. My condolences to the families that lost their children. Tag, if y'all watching this video, let's find those GoFundMes so I could put the GoFundMes in the bio in a real way. Help me find the GoFundMes.
We are learning right now. Within the past hour, the San Joaquin County Sheriff said there could be multiple suspects in this mass shooting. Guns were found on the roof of the banquet hall where this happened that may or may not be related to this particular shooting. We know 4 people were killed, including 3 children, ages 8, 9, and 14 years old, as well as a...
Wow. Y'all killed that 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 21-year-old lost his life. Man, bro, that's crazy. Brodusky, can you imagine? Can you imagine just going to a birthday party and seeing an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 14-year-old stretched out, clinging, fighting for their life? Man, bro, that's crazy on mamas. And you got these idiots on the internet bragging about it. Like, we're going to get to that in a moment.
21-year-old. The sheriff would not confirm this was gang-related, despite the mayor saying it was. Now, the shooting at
gang-related shooting.
The banquet hall on Lucille Avenue just before 6 last night. Investigators believe that more than 100 people were inside this particular party when those shots went off. We do have team coverage across San Joaquin County right now. Let's start with your reporter covering Stockton, Carmela Karcher in French Camp. And Carmela, the sheriff just spoke with some important updates. What can you tell us?
You think you know David's story.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Steve. Now, the San Joaquin County Sheriff just wrapped his press conference up about a half hour ago, updating the community on what new information they've gathered about this mass shooting that happened here in Stockton last night. Now, like as you just mentioned, this all happened at around 6 p.m. yesterday, where the sheriff believes multiple gunmen opened fire at a child's birthday party. 15 people were shot, 4 have since died. Ages are 8.
15 people have been shot. I believe right now the total count is at 19. 19 people got shot.
9, 14, and 21 years old. Now, 5 people were arrested last night by the Stockton Police Department, but the sheriff says he cannot confirm if this was related to the incident. There were also multiple cars that were towed last night, as well as multiple firearms seized that were found on the roof. But again, unknown if this was related to the shooting. But the main message the sheriff wants to get out to the community is that this was an isolated incident.
We're confident that this was not a random act, They walked into this area and was probably looking for somebody in particular. Why they did that, what they're part of, who they are, we don't know. But this was not somebody who was unacquainted with them. We don't believe it was not something where the rest of the public has to fear. They didn't. This wasn't just some terrorist type attack where they walked in and just.
This is a terrorist attack. How is it not? These people walked inside of a birthday party and shot children. If that ain't a terrorist, then I don't know what is.
Just wanted to kill people. So we're not gonna say whether it's gang related or not until we have all the facts in front of us.
It is.
Now, again, this was an isolated incident, and again, that he is not going to confirm if this was a gang-related incident, but he did say that the investigation is still in its very early stages, about 21 hours in, so he's urging the community to come forward with any information.
Carmel, I wanted to ask you, it was interesting and I think notable that the sheriff was asking for the public's help with information. At the same time, he did not release any suspect descriptions, saying there could have been one or multiple shooters. So were you able to read into that at all, that whether they feel like they have good information on who these suspects are?
Yeah, and so he did mention that. He was saying that they have not going to release any of the description of the suspects because it's still in the very early stages, again, only 21 hours in. But they did say that if they were going to put out a description, that they will do that once they get more information, or they might not do that if they already know what the suspects look like and who they are.
Keeping things close to the vest.
It's crazy how TikTok can find out before the police can who the suspects are. You know, TikTok start piecing it together in a real way.
Right now, we know that the Sheriff's Department working with the FBI on this in their investigation as well. All right, Carmela Karcher live at French Camp for us tonight. The community coming together to honor the victims in this mass shooting. Brady Halblab, you see standing there near the shooting scene with a very emotional day on the streets of Stockton, right, Brady?
Yes, Steve, obviously a very emotional day for a lot of the people that were here. And where I'm standing right now is just where that vigil took place. It wrapped up about an hour ago. And we're actually just about a couple hundred yards from where that shooting actually took place. But dozens of people gathered here today. If you can take a look at some of the video that we shot from earlier today from this vigil, you can see people were crying, they were praying, they were hugging each other. It was led by several different pastors from several different congregations, all with the same.
Look at all them people out there devastated. You see all these people out here hurt, and you know it's gang members on the internet right now saying they condone in unaliving children. Sickening, Brodusky. Them the type of people need the death penalty on mamas. Any crime against elderly or children, you know what I'm saying? That should all them, and women too. You know what I'm saying? Sex crimes on mamas. Death penalty right away.
A sentiment in the same voice saying that this kind of violence needs to stop. And the fact that this was involving children was a main theme and a main aspect of why this is so shocking to many of the people that were here today, and praying for also the people that are in the hospital and praying for the families of these children, of course. And that was the main thing. It was about coming together and not only praying, but also saying that this violence needs to stop, and not just to talk about it, to be about it. And we spoke to one of the pastors who spoke today. If we can bring that sound up, let's take a listen.
We can find a way to work together in love to begin to break the barriers that is destroying our community. Or we can make a difference. We can make a difference today. We can make a difference right now. That means I don't want you to just get on my program I don't want to just get on your program. We need to figure out what's going to work for Stockton and make a change today. Do you all hear me what I'm talking about? I want you to look around at the people that's gathered here today. People just heard about it, saw a flyer, and they showed up to stand here today. But I need us to stand tomorrow and next week and next month, amen, to begin to speak out in regards to our community, the city of Stockton. I need us to love each other enough to where when I see you in trouble, I do something about it. I stand up. And I'm not talking about fighting and trying to tear down. How do I meet the need? How do I apply balm to the thing that's hurting? How do I apply that salve that's going to bring healing to what you need?
Strong message from that pastor right there. And Mayor Christina Fugazi was also here. She did speak here at the vigil today. And one thing that that she also spoke about earlier this afternoon when we did a separate interview with her, she said that she is in contact with the White House. She says that obviously this is not something that many mayors go through, is dealing with the aftermath of a mass shooting. She also mentioned that she is in contact with Governor Newsom and considering declaring a state of emergency so that she could have funds to be able to respond to whatever it takes to with the aftermath.
They definitely need the funds. Yeah, hopefully the White House does give them the proper funding that they need, because in a situation like this, that's just going to spark up a gang war. It's going to spark up more violence. They need the military presence in Stockton right now. Think about it. Rival gang members going there, unaliving children. I'm pretty sure somebody wants to get some vengeance. Right? Man, getting people that funding.
Of this mass shooting, but also to be able to bring resources here for families and to also combat gun violence. Steve.
I thought there were some really powerful messages there, and one of the things that stood out to me, and I know you were there for it in person.
How do you combat gun violence? How do you combat it? Well, let's start with changing the economy first. You know, because guns don't hurt people. People hurt people with the guns, right? It ain't no gun problem. It's a people problem out here. So let's address the problem at hand, the economy. If everybody have money right now, do you think people be riding around trying to blast each other? No, people be riding around enjoying life, right? You could do whatever you wanted to do. You wouldn't have time unless you were just a sick freak.
Was not only the number of people who were there to listen, but the number of people who were there to talk as well. This thing went on for a long time. Just how many people spoke, ballpark, Brady?
I would say about 8 to 9 people spoke here today. And the interesting thing was they came from all different backgrounds, all different faiths. And they all came together, and that was the special moment here, and that was one of the sentiments that that one's up.
Of course. All right, we're going to cut the video right there, but we get the gist of the story. You know, of course, people are going to come together when calamity strikes, but why can't we stand together when there's no issue at hand? Why is that? Why do we have to wait until tragedy strikes for us to come together? You know, that's preposterous, but that's the way they set it up to be. That's the way they set it up to be. But I'm gonna show, let me see if I can find this video real quick so we can expose this bozo clown from Stockton bragging about the children that lost their lives. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I seen a video on TikTok. See Nah. Let me sign in real quick. See if we can find this clown. Bro. Alright, I got logged in.
Name of the time I dropped the low and I ain't show. Yeah, I wait through the 8.
Actually getting a needle.
In the midst of her immeasurable pain, a spirit of hope rising in the pews of this Stockton church.
He's a good kid, and he went to this, celebration for a friend of his. It was his grief. It gives me hope.
Her heartbreak.
It's a bad town filled with shady people. News wasn't the first time that children have
6-year-old man was killed at
been caught in the crossfire of these things for a while. Police arrest 5 people in 27-year-old, and they were all taken into telling you about that previous mass shooting. Renegade Meat, he's going to break it down, but
Alright, I seen the video. Oh, here it goes.
Your bro in there talking about they don't.
And there you see ignorance at its finest. So here's a gang member from Stockton by the name of 500 Wante bragging about how he condones in children being unalive. There's some sick times we live in, Bradesky. My advice to everybody, man, cherish your loved ones. Keep your kids inside. You feel me? Now I understand why, back in the day, we used to be at the park playing basketball, playing football, running, throwing rocks at each other, digging up worms. You don't see kids doing that no more. No more. Kids like to be in the house on them tablets. You know what I'm saying? The world ain't a safe place. But it's your Bradesky, Aaron The Plumber. I'm signing off in a Real White Podcast, episode 1. Yeah, I'm saying? Dropping soon. Always ski. Hit that like, comment, subscribe button. In a Real White-O. And there you see ignorance at its finest. So here's a gang member from Stockton by the name of 500 Wante bragging about how he condones in children being unalive. There's some sick times we live in, Bradesky. My advice to everybody, man, cherish your loved ones. Keep your kids inside. You feel me? Now I understand why, back in the day, we used to be at the park playing basketball, playing football, running, throwing rocks at each other, digging up worms. You don't see kids doing that no more. No more. Kids like to be in the house on them tablets. You know what I'm saying? The world ain't a safe place. But it's your Bradesky, Aaron The Plumber. I'm signing off in a Real White Podcast, episode 1. Yeah, I'm saying? Dropping soon. Always ski. Hit that like, comment, subscribe button. In a Real White-O.